Good morning. Hey, I'm Aaron Bowman, W4ARV. I'm a CW operator, and I like to operate CW in the field and share it with you here on YouTube. So you'll probably notice that the video is a little bit blurry or noisy, and that's because I use my iPad as my camera for making YouTube videos, and it actually works really well, except for the fact that right now it is 6:13 a.m. and so it's a little bit between dawn and sunrise at the moment, so it's pretty dim still, and the iPad camera on the one that I have is not that great at low light, so I apologize for that. It will get better here in a few minutes as the sun continues coming up. But I've been digging around in my truck, about to set up to do a Parks on the Air activation, getting out some various antenna components. I was planning on using my Alex loop this morning when I got up, and then I checked band conditions because I saw some guys on Discord showing the solar charts and such, and looked pretty bad. So solar conditions to me doesn't mean in any sort of way that I am not going to activate. Definitely going to activate. But instead of using the Alex loop, I dug out a few things. So this is actually an antenna that I used a few days ago, and it is a Frankenstein. So this is just a UHF to 3/8 adapter, so that's not really part of it, but that just allows it to sit on top of the K400 mount that I normally use, which is a UHF, and then an extension rod for the MP1C antenna, super antenna, the coil of the MP1C, and then this is a 8-foot mill whip from Res Antennas that I bought by itself a while back, and pretty good whip. And this little setup right here on, was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday, netted me 77 contacts. So I had never used this configuration before, but hey, it worked pretty good. Today I'm going to use something very similar to this. I'm actually going to take this mill whip off since band conditions are not too great. I'm going to swap this 8-foot mill whip for this 17-foot Chameleon. One thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the weight of this 17-foot Chameleon. It very well may try to push my coil down, but I think it'll hold. We'll find out. Other than that, that's the antenna I'm going to use this morning. So UHF to 3/8 adapter, one extension rod for the MP1C, the MP1C coil, and then 17-foot whip. So this will definitely tune just like this. With it fully extended, it'll tune 40 and 30 meters. It would actually have to collapse a little bit to tune 20 meters because this configuration is actually longer than a quarter wave on 20 meters. So that should be a pretty good thing for bad band conditions, quote unquote. Let's see how bad they are. Alright, let me stick this on my truck. I'm going to turn this camera around. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is the Diamond K400 mount right here, mounted on my back door, and it's always there. I use it with my ATOS 120 a lot, but I've been using it with other things a little bit more. So I'm not going to be able to reach this whip once I get it up there, so I'm going to go ahead and extend it now. So let's extend this out. Yeah, I'm not the biggest user of Chameleon antennas all the time. A lot of them can be pretty lossy, but this whip is certainly built well. Alright, we've got an issue. I gotta move the truck. With how tall this is, it is hitting some tree branches. So let me lay this bad boy down. I'm gonna back the truck up about 3 feet. Move my coax. I'm gonna leave you right there so you enjoy the ride. That should do it. Alright, where were we? Let's extend this antenna all the way out. Don't think I'll be hitting anything now. Oh yeah. Man, once you get that all the way up there, 17 foot plus this 1 foot extension rod plus being on top of my truck, this thing's pretty darn tall. Wouldn't drive down the road with this attached. That would break in about 4.3 seconds. Okie dokie. Well boys, that's gonna do the trick. Take a look at this. I'll try to slowly back you up so you can get an idea of just how nice and long this thing is. Oops. So you can kind of get an idea. That is a pretty nice and tall antenna. See it going all the way up there. That should do the trick for 40 meters this morning. And it's leaning a lot. I mean, I'm not sure what I expected though. That's a lot of weight. Okay. Well, it was leaning a lot. Apparently I need to tighten my K400 mount because I was able to just kind of grab it and move it a little bit, and now it's not leaning. Duly noted that I need to adjust that. Okay. Guess what radio I'm using? Did you guess the IC705? If so, you would be correct. IC705 in the outlet sleeve bag. Let's see if I can get you where you can see what I'm doing over here now. All right. IC705. I don't know how good this camera angle is. If you can even see my face, I'm not sure. But at least you can see the radio gear that I'm getting out. That. Let's get a pen, a wire, logbook, and modern Morse CW key. Love that thing. Done with that. Now I need a UHF connector to PL or to BNC so I can hook up my antenna. There it is. Keep one of these in the bag because you never know when you need it. See, I would set up the 20-foot mast and such this morning. I just don't have a lot of time. I need to be out of here by 7:30 at the latest, and it is 6:24. So this setup allows me to get a good solid hour on the air. And right now, I'd rather have an hour on the air. I think that this antenna will tune up pretty easy. Got some dirt in that connector. I think it hit the ground at one point. Okay. Let's snug this down. Alright. Put my key in. Now, it is time to tune this antenna. I'm going to try to show you what I'm going to do for that. So, give me just a moment. Alright, so one thing I'll mention right off the bat is when you're in tuning antenna systems that are, ready-made antenna, you can typically follow the instructions that come with it on how to tune it. With this, the MP1C coil, if you have the 2 extension rods and the whip that it comes with, and use the little tuning guide, you can tune it that way. But this is not a typical setup for any antenna. This is a Frankenstein that we just made, and tuning it is as simple as sliding the coil up and down, right? So if I want to get to 40 meters, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my radio on here to 40 meters, turn that volume up a pretty good bit. I'm going to come over here to my meter screen so I can see the big SWR meter. And now I'm going to start sliding this coil up, and I'm going to listen for when the noise starts to get louder. So you'll hear that. That's definitely louder. I've got my preamp on for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Right there's a 1.7. So let's push it up like one little click. I'll see if that's higher or lower. Okay, now it's a little over 2 to 1. So let's pull it back down. I'm going to pull it down about 1 click. So now I'm right at 1.5. So I'm going to pull it down 1 more click. Notice the movements that I'm making are just very small. Don't want to do big movements. Still 1.5. Okay, now we're going back up to 2. So we found the resonant point on this coil is right in this area. So let's push it back up. And I'm right at 1.5, 1 to 6, 1.6 to 1. It's good enough. For a vertical, a lot of times, that's actually better than a 1 to 1 because a vertical is not exactly 50 ohms. Whether or not that's the case here, I don't know. I'd have to have an antenna analyzer and see what the ohm reading is. But I do have that. So anything below about a 1.7, 1.8 to 1, it's good enough for me. I'll try to get it to a 1.1, 1.2 to 1. But that's about how long I'll try. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time. It's not that big of a difference between 1.5. Ooh, that's a horsefly. I hate those things. Okay. Now let me bring everything back over here. Well, alright. I'm going to head down here now. And I'm activating just off of the tailgate of my truck today. I am sitting in my little chair here. I might stand up in a little bit. But I am on 7.063. Got my spot ready to put in. I'm ready to just get on the air. So let's go ahead and do it. Got just under an hour now, so hopefully I can make some good contacts. I don't hear anything. So spot has been submitted to POTA, and CQ calling started. See how we do. Hey man, look at that nice sunrise coming up right behind us over here. It's a nice view. Still a little foggy this morning, nice and cool. Feels like a fall morning. Oh, RBN's picking me up. It's a positive sign. Dave's definitely a little lower signal than normal, so. KE8PTX. I think I sent KE8PTK, so sorry about that. Wrote it down right. Why is this filter back up? Okay, so 2 in the log. Certainly not terribly strong signals this morning yet. I think that's to be expected based off of solar conditions. Which, about all that means to me is that I put up a bigger antenna. Good coffee. Thanks for joining this morning. Trying to get a piece of dirt off the screen, change my frequency by accident. Oops. Alright, about to put my memory keyer on repeat. Beacon, whatever you want to call it. I can't get that glare off of the screen, so sorry about that. I know you can't see it very well. only I'll hold my hand there the whole time. So I'm getting out. But my RBN numbers are weak. I think the strongest one's 17 decibels. Most of them are like 6, 5, 10, 5, 4, 8, 7, 3. So what I can tell from that is that I'm getting out, but my signal's going to be weak. Somebody in Kentucky on 30 meters. K4. Nice signal there. K4RUM, thanks for the contact. Trying to keep my fat elbow out of your camera view. Apologies. Yeah, man, these numbers on RBN for 40 meters, they're pretty bad. I might be going to 30 meters in just a second. Whoa. One more CQ call on 40, and I'm gonna retune to 30 meters. Let's go to 30. Maybe it'll do a little better. All right, let me move this camera. I'm gonna let you watch again. Because apparently, y'all find, whoa, hold on, we got somebody here. I heard somebody. Sorry, jumping back over here for a second. Sorry for the moving around. Nope. Okay. Back to it. Apparently y'all like watching me fool around with antennas and stuff. So if you like it, I'll keep showing it. Because honestly, this is a big part of the activation. Alright. Up here on 30 meters. Tune to 10.108. What I'm going to do is bring the coil down until I get some louder noise. Oops. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this antenna down until I get louder noise. I'm on 10.108. Let's see. It's not going to be very far. That's louder. Coming down some. That's pretty good. Over here to meter. It's about 1.5. One more click down. I'm at 1.2. That'll do the trick. So, yeah, you can see there's just barely any of that coil in here. I don't think I could tune 20 without collapsing the whip down some. Okay, back again. Hopefully you don't mind me moving you around so much. Not used to doing that. And you got a little bit of a view of my inside of my old truck bed. Okay, 10.108. I'm gonna stand up for a little while. Kind of feels good. Refresh the POTA spot page. Make sure there's nobody else on POTA, at least on this frequency, that I just can't hear. Because that can make a real confusion. Alrighty then, don't hear anything. So I'm going to put my memory keyer on beacon. Let it kind of go here for a minute. Hopefully RBN will respot me. It should. I'd be surprised if it didn't. Nothing else. 17-foot whip and a coil and an extension rod. Pretty impressive looking. It's the first time I've ever actually run a 17-foot whip on my truck. I think I like it though. I just bought that adapter last week because I wanted to start using my IC705 when I'm activating from inside my truck more often instead of the ATOS and Yaesu FT891, because the 705 is just my favorite radio. Now, I'm not getting picked up at all on 30 meters RBN. That's not a good sign. Yikes! We might be going back to 40. That may have been the best there is. I got about 38 minutes left. I'm at 3 contacts right now. Need to get 7 more. I ain't getting picked up worth a crap. Starting to get a little nervous. I know failed activations, not that big of a deal, but I've only ever had one. I just don't like it. To be honest, if that happens, I'm probably going to come back at lunch with 100 watts. Because, you know, with Parks on the Air, it's a 24-hour period, UTC day. So, I just have to be back before the UTC day is over, and I could still count for the same day. I think I'm going to be going back to 40 meters. Show you what I'm looking at. Heard somebody there for a second. Show you what I'm looking at real quick. This is the MUF map. The yellow is 5. The kind of puke green is 6. The dark green is 8. So I'm kind of right down here in between the, what is it, 6 and 8. So 7 megahertz really is it. And that is only expected really to stay in this area, but based on that map, 40 meters might get Florida, which a lot of times I can get a whole activation in on Florida. So let's call CQ here one more time. If I don't get crap, still not gotten spotted by the RBN a single time on 30 meters. We're going to go ahead and retune for 40. So let's go back up. Lots of fiddling around this morning. So this time, Just gonna do this real quick. Change the band. Just around this area. Coming down. Coming down. I think that's about where I was. Big meter. Right at 1.5. That'll do. Okay, we're tuned back on 40 meters now. So let's do QRL again, even though it's the same frequency I was on before. Somebody here on 80 meters. That's probably the smart choice this morning. I really could have done 80 meters, to be honest. Put my spot back in for 47063. Pull up my chair. Yeah, this one's a struggle. At least RBN's picking me up here on 40. Well, I got you, Santy. I don't know if you got me. It's probably just barely. Yep. this is a kind of day that I do wish I could use a full-size end-fed half-wave or dipole or something full-size. For 40 meters though, I wouldn't have had time to set that up this morning, so I wouldn't have been able to activate it if that's what I was going to be using. I've got 6 contacts in the log so far. Mostly. I didn't get that one. Hey, thanks, Justin. I just hunted him yesterday. Good to hear you this morning. Most of these contacts have been from the northeast. Kind of surprised by that. So I'm at 7 so far. It's not terrible. I really need to be packing up in about 14 minutes. Hopefully I can get 3 more in 14 minutes. That's some crazy QSB fading. All right, 8. Come on. Need 2 more. I go hunt some parks here in a second. Or try. Texas, I believe. And getting some good faithful hunters this morning. Not really any new calls. It's alright, I really appreciate the folks that hunt me over and over again. More than you realize, especially mornings like today. I'm sure a lot of these folks are having to really pull me out of the noise. Keep in mind, a lot of them are at home on their home stations with significantly better antennas than what I have here, and they're still weak. So that points to band conditions being pretty rough. I just need one more contact. Come on, one more. Hopefully y'all can still see me okay with the sun coming up behind me. And can you imagine how slow this activation would have been if I had used my Alex loop? Love that antenna, but it's probably not even half the efficiency of this setup. I don't think I would have gotten 10 contacts. Because the folks that I've been working that have been pretty weak, I might have been able to hear them, but I really don't think they'd be able to hear me. Come on, one more. You can do it, 40 meters. Still being heard. Not very strong. Thank you, Marcus. N3VO in Maryland. Good dude right there. Double count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10. And I know none of those are busted calls because I know all of the calls. Well, that is a relief. Now I got about a few minutes left. I'll keep calling CQ. See if we can get a few more. But I can relax a little more now. Man, that's glary. I'm gonna move this camera. Try to get this glare away. That'll be a little bit better. Move the radio so you can see it. Should have just done this angle to begin with. Alright. I am relieved. Man, just got picked up VE3 EID RBN station. So 40 meters is kind of long for the morning. I don't normally get into Canada at all in the morning on 40 meters. Interesting. Alright, while I call CQ, I'm going to take a few pictures real quick for sharing of the activation, so bear with me. I normally do this after, but since I'm just calling CQ anyway. KD3CA. Spoke too soon. Try to give me a good cover photo for the video. Y'all don't ever see me do this part. That sun coming up in the background makes a pretty good picture. If I can get the angle right. I'm not a photographer, videographer, any of the things. That's a pretty good picture. You can probably even see it. See? Yeah, that's probably going to be the cover photo. Alright. Take a picture of this antenna for my records. I ran back over here and got that. Let's keep going. Alright, let me take this picture real quick. I'll be right back. Sorry about all this. I can hear a nice voice signal coming in there. Don't know if that's sideband or a shortwave station. The filter's too narrow to hear. Okay. Okay, I'm going to call QRT right there. Definitely got, I think that's a shortwave station coming in on top. Could be wrong. It might be a sideband station. Not really that worried about it. Let me mark my spot QRT. Go ahead and do that. All right, all right. It's very good. Ended up with, I believe, 13 contacts. First contact was at 11:36 UTC. It is now 12:25 UTC. So, you know, better part of an hour. You know, probably a little over an hour, given all of the antenna tuning, calling CQ, etc. So, yeah, it definitely takes more time when band conditions are like that than it does when band conditions are great. The other day I got in under 2 hours 77 contacts. It was just rolling back to back to back to back, and I love that. But you know, sometimes it's still fun to get out even when band conditions aren't as great. I love just being outside, you know, feeling the sun come up. The cool temperatures, especially this morning, make it even more pleasant, and just being away from everything, doing some CW, even if it's slow and 13 contacts in an hour. Heck, even if it's 2 contacts in an hour. And this was a failed activation. Yeah, it would have irritated me, but I certainly would not have regretted coming out. I'd say this antenna setup worked really well, so I'm happy with that. So the Super Antenna MP1C coil with the Chameleon 17-foot whip on top of that on a Diamond K400 mount. Hey man, that's pretty winning setup. I'm probably going to use that a good bit more. Certainly tunes 40 and 30 quite nicely, so a good way to use a QRP radio, you know, basically from the truck or the tailgate in this instance, but you know, certainly better than a ham stick or something super shortened. This is shortened a little bit, but not that much. Anyway, alright, I'm going to sign off right there, stop rambling. I hope you enjoyed this activation and watching me fight the bands mostly, and having to retune my antenna going to 30 meters and back, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and I really appreciate you watching, and feel free to drop a comment and be glad to talk with you. Shoot me an email if you have any questions. My email on Q is on my QRZ page, and yeah, 73 from W4ARB here in the beautiful Tuskegee National Forest. I'll see you in the next activation video.